Are you helping me? Oh my gosh. You are crazy. Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be testing out the FX Powerplay Foundation. You might hear some little whines and cries in the background today because my 6 dogs are feeling very vocal today, so please don't mind that. Before I get into trying this out, I do want to mention what my skin type is. You guys seem to like when I give you this little rundown. So I have very oily skin everywhere, and then I also do get some dry patches over my acne, and it usually only happens on my chin area. I also have rosacea, I have sensitive skin, and I have acne prone skin. So since I have oily skin, I typically like to see how long a foundation will last on my skin. I like to see if it's gonna separate and break up and start to look cakey when I start to get oily. So I am gonna be doing an 8 to 10 hour wear test today with this foundation, and I'll do some check-ins in between just to see how the foundation holds up on oily skin. And yeah, so if you guys aren't already, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. I review a ton of foundations here on my channel, so if that's something you're interested in, then go ahead and subscribe, and let's just get right into this video. Okay, so here is the FX Powerplay Foundation. I have the shade N20. They have 40 shades in this foundation range, which is awesome, and they also have really good undertones. This bottle is very small, but it's really deceiving. I didn't think there was going to be a lot of foundation in here, but there's actually 1.18 fluid ounces, which is just over the standard amount of 1 fluid ounce that foundations usually have. And this also is a squeezy tube, not a pump foundation. So a little bit about this foundation. It is a matte foundation. It's made for combination to oily skin. It says it's a buildable medium to full coverage foundation, and it also is $44. So I'm just gonna read a little tiny bit on the website what it says in here. Claims to be a modern matte blurring foundation with weightless full coverage, sweat proof, all day wear, long lasting, shine control, and it does not oxidize. Also says it has environmental protection. It's vegan. So I think that's all you need to know. If I'm missing anything, everything will be down in the description box. And we're just gonna get right into trying this out. Okay, so like always, I will be putting a primer on half my face just to see if this helps with the way the foundation wears on my face throughout the day and the way it looks when I apply it. So I'm putting the primer on the right side of my face only, and I am using the Dr. Brandt Pores No More primer. Okay, so I'm gonna start applying it on this side, and it doesn't say how much to use, so I'm just gonna put a little drop on the back of my hand. This is gonna be really, really light on me. This looks like it'll match me when I'm not self-tanned, but I wasn't planning on filming this video today, so I didn't think I was gonna be so tan. But again, this is the shade N20. It's made for, oh my gosh, this is gonna be so light, but that's okay. We can just fix it with bronzer. So I used almost that full little drop on the back of my hand, and I'm just gonna start blending this out with my beauty blender. So it's blending out pretty easily so far, and I would say this is more of a medium coverage foundation right now, but I am gonna try and build it up a little bit to see if we can get it to full coverage. It is drying pretty fast though. If I let it sit a little bit too long on my skin, it does get a little bit trickier to blend out. So keep that in mind that it does dry a little bit faster. I zoomed you up a little bit, but this is what it looks like with one layer so far. It covered up a lot of my redness, but I can definitely still see through to my skin tone. I can still see my acne. So I definitely say this is more medium coverage. So I'm gonna go in with a little bit more and build this up. Yeah, it definitely dries fast. I can see there's a little bit more tug to it now that I already have it on my skin. Where I'm layering it up, it is feeling a little bit more dry, and see how it's like sticking a little bit more? Yeah, you can kind of see here that it's still not wanting to move really. So I would work in sections instead of dotting it around your face. I would probably start with like your cheek and do that, and then move on to your forehead and do it that way. Okay, so that's what it looks like with 2 layers. I still wouldn't say this is full coverage though. I can definitely see my skin tone right here. It looks a little bit darker in areas. I can still see, yeah, redness on my acne. I'm gonna keep building this up just because it does claim to be full coverage, and I wanna see what it's gonna look like. So I'll do another drop on my forehead. Okay, so working in sections obviously works a lot better because it isn't drying as fast, and we're getting a little bit more coverage now. Okay, like for some reason it is not wanting to get in the crease in my nose right here. And now it's kind of starting to get to the point where I don't want to put any more on where I am building it up because it's clearly not covering up my acne right here, and I don't want to put any more on because it will start getting cakey. I can already tell it's starting to look a little bit heavy over those, so I'm going to stop with that. Okay, there we go. I can still see a little bit through the foundation, and I put quite a bit on. Not a bad thing though. I don't mind medium coverage foundations. I actually prefer medium coverage sometimes if I'm not like breaking out or anything. So I don't mind that. It definitely dries really fast and it looks really matte on the skin. There's not much of a glow to my skin. So it's very matte and it is starting to crease already in my smile line right here. And it also does look pretty dry over this acne. Okay, so I'm just gonna take about that much and we'll start on my cheek and my chin. And the brush I'm using is a Sigma F80 brush. This is my favorite foundation brush to use. You guys know that, I use it all the time. Okay, so I'm already getting a lot more coverage with the brush. It definitely is harder to blend out with a brush though. I can definitely tell how matte it is with the brush because it's a little bit trickier to blend it around on this side. Going with a little bit more over the center of my cheeks. Yeah, I don't think I like it with the brush. It is blending it out faster, but since there's not that moisture, it is tugging on my skin. And I feel like when it's tugging, it's kind of moving the foundation around. You can see on my cheek right here and on my nose, it's just kind of moving it around. So I'm gonna switch back to the Beauty Blender. Yeah, I definitely like it better with the Beauty Blender. All right, so this is what it looks like before I finish up the rest of my makeup. I'm not loving it, but I don't think it looks bad. It just looks really dry on my skin, and that might have something to do with how light it is too. I just feel like I look really dead right now. Once I put some bronzer on and even out my face a little bit, hopefully it looks a little bit better, but I definitely do think it's really, really matte. I don't see any type of a shine or sheen or anything to my face. Right in the center here, it's just looking a little bit heavy. It also does look kind of heavy on the apples of my cheeks. It looks like it's almost grabbing on my texture and it's creasing in my smile line already on this side. But yeah, it dried down to a really matte finish. There's no tackiness at all. Yeah, so I'm not loving it right now. Let's see how I feel about it after I put the rest of my makeup on though, because usually my mind changes. Okay, so I usually finish my makeup off camera, but I decided I'm gonna do it on camera today just so you guys can see what I'm using and see if it gets any patchiness or anything like that while I'm applying the rest of my makeup. So I'm using a little bit of Tarte Shape Tape where I need some more coverage and then underneath my eyes and to highlight the very center of my face. This is what I do every single time I do my makeup. Just blending out nicely. And to set my under eyes and the rest of my face, I use my Too Faced Peachy Matte Setting Powder. I'm gonna blend out this crease and then set it right away, so hopefully that stops creasing in there. Yeah, that took it away. To contour, I'm using this shade right here in my Kat Von D Shade and Light Contour Kit. Okay, so it's not looking patchy over this foundation at all, which is awesome. I'm using the Marc Jacobs Tantric Bronzer, and I'm using a Morphe M527 brush. For a little bit of blush, I'm using the Tarte Peaceful Blush and a Morphe E4. A little bit of cream highlight. This is the Benefit What's Up highlighter. Just right on the high points of my cheekbones. And then I'm going to go over that with this shade right here in the Milani highlighting kit. I've been loving this so much lately. Oh, look at that. It's just crazy. By the way, it's 5:47 p.m. So I've had the foundation set down and done on my face since about 5:30. So that's what we're called time at. I'm already really liking this foundation because even though it is for matte, now I have a little bit of glow back to my skin so it doesn't look so matte. And then I'm gonna line my waterline. This is the Marc Jacobs Highliner pencil. Use a little bit of eyebrow gel. This is the Benefit, I think it's called the Ready Set Brow Gel. This is the Essence Soft Contour Lip Liner in the shade Going Steady 09. My lipstick, another one of my favorites. This is the Bareminerals Slay Matte Lipstick. And then I'm going to go ahead and set my face with my favorite setting spray. This is the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. I'm going to be honest, I was not liking it at first, but now that all my makeup's done, I am really enjoying this. I think the matte finish looks perfect when all the rest of your makeup is on. At first, I thought it looked way too dry and it was kind of making me look dead, and I just wasn't that big of a fan of it, but now I think it looks really, really pretty. My pores don't look enhanced. It stopped creasing in this line right here after I blended it out and then set it. I would say the only thing that I don't absolutely love is my forehead. I feel like it still does look a little bit heavy on my forehead, and that might be because I used a little bit too much when I was trying to build it up. It's not creasing in the line of my chin. It looks nice in the corners of my nose. Doesn't look cakey or anything. I am gonna check back in probably like 4 or 5 hours, halfway through my wear test mark, and just give you guys a little check-in and see how it's looking. So I will see you guys then. Okay, so we're back now and it is 10:40. Come on. The foundation still looks just about the same on my skin. I'm really impressed with the oil control that this foundation has. I do think that my chin area, like right around here where that smile line is looking pretty dry, but there is no oil anywhere. I'm not even getting shiny anywhere yet, which is awesome. And since I'm not getting oily, it's not looking cakey anywhere. It's not separating anywhere. Yeah, the only thing that I don't love is just the dryness right here, but other than that, I think it looks really, really good. It's definitely doing what it's supposed to be doing. It's controlling my oil. It's staying super matte. I'm gonna check back in about 3 to 5 hours from now, and depending on how late I can stay up tonight, and I'll show you guys what it looks like after the whole 10 hours. Okay, so it is 4:15 in the morning. I'm so tired right now. Oh my gosh, I'm exhausted. Took my lashes off, so that's why there's white lines underneath my eyeliner. It's been 11 hours. I'm still not really that oily. I see a little bit of a shine on my forehead, a teeny bit in the corners of my nose, but it definitely controlled my oil very well. I do still think that my skin looks really dry though, so I'm definitely not liking that, especially my chin area. I also think that right in this area on the apples of my cheeks, it is starting to, it's almost like sinking into my pores. My pores look really big on the centers of my cheeks right now. Not the best right now, but honestly, I've seen so much worse. So I think this foundation actually is doing a really good job, and it is doing what it claims. It's not separating on me, which is good. It's creasing in my chin line. I definitely think that my forehead is looking the cakiest out of everything on my face right now. But honestly, like I said, I've seen so much worse. If you guys look back on my other videos where I've reviewed foundations, this is nothing compared to how bad most of the foundations I test out are. But honestly, up until a couple hours ago, I did think it looked really good. So I will definitely be wearing this foundation again. Maybe not for a super long period of time. 11 hours is a really long time to have a foundation on my face. I usually never have foundation on this long. So I could easily get away with wearing this for 8 hours and it would be totally fine. And yeah, I need to go to bed now because I am starting to get delusional. It's like so late. Oh my gosh, I hate staying up this late. But I hope this video helped you guys out and helped you decide if you wanted to get this foundation or not. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.